the longest train yet. This song was a real breath of fresh air for me. I didn't grow up going to church. I mean, we went to church maybe as a family when I was about 13. I think that's really late to say that you started or grew up in the church. And even then it was sporadic. So, finding Jesus on my own through adolescence and now adulthood was I had to fall. I had to hit rock bottom in order to be in that state. So to now, after many secular songs, make a Christian-based rap song. It just felt really good. What's going on, everybody? My name is Caesar Rodney, and I'm here to break down the recipe of You Know If You Know. You Know If You Know is just a 100% Christian rap song. I would say 99.99% clean. So no curses, no profanity in there. I don't believe so, at least. It's definitely one of my more tolerable songs, a palate cleanser, if you will. Something that a lot of people could relate to just in terms of the subject matter. Yeah, I'm excited to break this down. It's a time and place for all the blank stares, fake handshakes, and people in my ear telling me, you got one chance and you won't make it here, family. Just one word, cause blood could always spill. Enemies, close as we are, the devil must appear. Before the songs even came about, and which was where we're getting to the first verse, friends and family, they often, sarcastically, they're like, hey, if you're Christian, you got to make Christian songs now. You can't curse anymore. You can't do this. Where it's like, all right, were you even listening to my songs beforehand? To even now want to criticize me and expect this of me? Are you going to listen to these now Christian-based songs? What does it matter to you whether or not I'm, doing what I'm supposed to in that regard? And of course, it's naturally going to happen if it's down and truly from the heart, right? If I'm not serious, then let that naturally progress and let that conviction, work within me in order to bear that fruit. So I just felt like a lot of it was unfair in that way. And these are, people who aren't even practicing Christians themselves, the irony. I did it. I made You Know If You Know along with other songs with that EP. And I'm really proud of it. And it's really foretold that, Jesus is going to bring a sword down between your family members and your friends. And it's a tough pill to swallow. And I'm done with all the pretty faces. My happiness is often running on low. Valentine, I must be trading places. I can't believe that this is far as I go. So close and far from home. Skid row, reap what I sow. Plateau, unless you're selling your soul. You know if you know, we ain't never asked to be born in a city where we can't breathe, neck deep, can't speak. And we ain't never asked for much, really. And now we hardly get on one knee. And rarely do we pray to God. Is there any woman made for us? And is there any clear space for us? Tell me, Lord, is it safe to trust? Now, towards a hook, a lot of life circumstances catalyzed this song and inspired the lyrics. I was separated from a partner of mine at the time, and being so close to Jesus really fast and abruptly, it was a lot for her to bear, that life change. Suddenly I didn't want to sleep in the same bed. Suddenly I didn't want to, have sex with her anymore. Not for any, reasons other than the fact that we have to be married. This isn't something we can keep doing if I'm, to follow the Bible and Jesus, truly. So just beyond the facade, beyond people's faces, the makeup and the dress up, you gotta really dig deep into them and really be selective, and I didn't do that for myself. And I felt like, I was doing myself a disservice, and her as well. And many other people I'm sure can relate to that aspect. I see it more now is where people are being more selective on who they couple with. And, within this sexual revolution time that we're in, it's just, I missed that boat. So I just felt like I was trying to catch up in a lot of different ways. Before Christ, I was trying to catch up in body counts, and now it's kind of like, whoa, I'm trying to back up and realize that I got it all wrong. I was thinking about this all the wrong way. Very traumatic for, the both of us. You just wonder where God is in that, even still. You claim to be Christian, but again, you have a lot of doubts as a Christian, and I think that's okay. I think that should be encouraged more. I mean, that's what faith's all about. I can't get shiggy with it. Well, maybe Kiki different. I was on the road to hell before heaven had given me the key to a purpose to get free for the ones who don't know that they gifted. Moving on to the second verse, I referenced the shiggy dance that he did to In My Feelings by Drake. I can't get shiggy with it. Just I can't get jiggy with that. Just a little word play. And, Kiki and all the other name flips that I did based off of that Drake song. Because again, this song's about, love and not just loving Jesus, but how love in Jesus affects other relationships, whether intimate or just family relations. And if you're trying to have your glow up, just know you gotta show up. It's best to keep that pole tucked, thinking with your head, what you messing with these girls for. Yeah. Yeah, I'm also talking about just thinking with the wrong head. And that might sound sort of redundant, but what I mean by that is, I'm leading with my brain, my mind, my intellect, but at the same time, a lot of us are also leading with our dicks. I was leading with my dick, just thinking with the wrong head. It makes me think of the Haunted House movie with Marlon Wayans and Cedric. He was like, "Is it this head or is it this head?" Like that. That's kind of where my mind goes when I'm writing songs. Of course you don't want to shoot either of them off, but yeah. Okay, I'm doomsday prepping. Safety switch the weapons. It's that click clack to have you roll the dice and get the stepping. My defense is tested. Christ aligned. If you crossing minds, I hope you ain't projected. I swear these NPCs, the only ones that make the metrics and miss the message. Now I'ma need a new profession. The bar's progressing, but only through the means of deception and new connection. Cause I ain't getting world reception. This is probably a big culmination of the whole song, not just in terms of my personal relations or family relations, friends relationships, not even my internal battles, but more so outwardly in regards to my art and practice. How can this art, hip hop, that I'm doing reflect my love for God, or even that my mind and heart is in the right place. Even today, I'm not making Christian songs actively. I'm still, rapping as normal. And it's how can I give this to you, God, and not feel, forced or I'm making something just to do it. I want this all to be organic. This song, if is very organic. It wrote itself. And I think as Christian rappers today or Christian artists today are pushing that envelope of what gospel music sounds like, it's really interesting because gospel art and music has always been 10 years behind. I mean, it's always been cheesy and dated in a way, even if it is contemporary. So I think I succeeded in that regard. But again, it's still a struggle of what am I doing? I'm cursing, I'm talking about all these things rappers talk about, and I'm not living that life. I mean, I'm capping in my raps. Oh man. But for what reason, even as I'm cleaning songs up, and this song's completely clean, but when I'm going back to do radio edits or just performance edits in a cleaner setting that I have to go and, do a show for, you realize you didn't even have to curse to begin with. The words that I'm substituting these curse words with, it's this could have worked, and it still has the same energy. It still has the same, meaning. What did I need the curse for to begin with? It's really all spiritual in that way. What's making me think that I have to adhere to these, norms? Now who you repping? Jesus ain't your golden necklace, your whole perception distorted, find a new direction before you left with more than you can bear. Devil lying in your air, concrete jungle over here. It's like tigers and gazelles, plenty room way down in hell, different smoke you gonna inhale. Fire, I can tell if I'm tripping off the scale. No, his payment never fails. By his blood, flesh and nails, cross my heart and live for real. Again, I mean, it's a lot heavier and obtuse, me explaining it, but I'm sure there's lines in there that, really just clear and blunt. Of course, analogies like we're in a Jesus piece and, Bible verses where you just, you can't even have any, idolization of his face or anything. We didn't know what he looked like. Things like that. all in all, like I'm really into theology and the practices of religions and anthropology as well. So, to even talk about this subject, Christianity, is just interesting beyond my personal beliefs, just my take on how it affected me. A lot of people experience church hurt. The Black church rubbed me the wrong way at some point, just in terms of authenticity. So hopefully the song does encourage people to just try it again, or at least look at the facts as I did, and at least have some more respect for the practice itself. I think a lot of people in this country, look at Christ and Christianity as a countercultural place in society, like especially with how liberal things have moved and progressive things are nowadays. Somehow Christ has become conservative, ideologically speaking. You think of like Trump and some Trump supporters, like Christian nationalities and all that stuff. It's all propaganda. I mean, I would tell people to do some more research and to know that Jesus was a progressive person, fought for women's rights and freedoms of peoples of all different races and ethnicities, and it's inspiring. I think what's most inspiring and encouraging, having released this project along with this lead single, If You Know, is the reactions. I've had people react to the song in ways that I just didn't expect, positively. Me singing is new too as well. Family members saying like, this is it, this is what you need to be doing. Not because it's Christian, but because it's somewhat innovative. I think the sound is a little different from what I've done before, and just also what you hear. And I'm proud of that. I'm getting some white support too. Some white people are saying they like the song, and you can't be mad at that. That's how you cross over, ain't it? Get the white fans or whatever. So y'all got it. Y'all like that. Cool. I can't tell you when I'll do another song like this, because it was just really a specific time in my life. Like I wrote that song in 2023. I mean, that was 2 years ago now, and I'm in a totally different place. I still go to church. I still have my community outings within my church, but life hits you hard, and I try my best to do what I got to do for myself and for my family. People are always watching, I'm not worried about God watching too much because he knows my heart, but I've been like, since making songs like this and being devoted to Jesus Christ openly, I've become like the designated Christian within my friend groups. And it's just kind of weird. Like I'm having a beer just as everybody else, and you guys go to church. You got church tomorrow. Why is me drinking like a problem if we all say that we're Christians? But yeah, it's just, inward battles like that I deal with. Yeah, thanks guys. This is If You Know.